One of the things that makes one mock-up look better than another is the impression that there's depth. So I'm going to take this A-frame and I'm going to play with the wrapping of this to try to create some depth here. So I usually bring 5 balloons onto the canvas, and we also play with sizing too. So usually most people are tying their balloons in pairs and then twisting them together. And so this would actually be a set of 6. So 2, 4, 1 here, and then 1 on the back. So you can't see that one on the back. And you can play with sizing. So I'll size that down a tad, and I'll maybe put that there. Oh. And then we'll take our next cluster of 5 again. Actually, I'll go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll make this one a large, and I'll put that behind it, kind of like that. And then I can bring it onto the canvas. I will reduce it a little bit. I will rotate it and make it kind of fit together. And then I'll actually start by adding balloons behind here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to group them. And I will move this, and I'm going to say send to back. And so now we're getting this kind of wrapping effect, right? And so it looks like the balloons are wrapping around it, but we need the balloons to continue to wrap, right? So let's go with another one. Go 4, 5. I'm going to rotate that a tad. I'm going to place it here, and I'm going to also send to back. And then I'll put one in front here. I'll do 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a large 6. I'm going to bring those. Actually, I'm going to rotate this out like that. I'll do another cluster here, and I'll put it between those 2 colors. I still have the depth because I've got the center one, so it still has depth on its own. And I will put that one, I'll send this to back as well. So it feels like it's wrapping around, right? It's going around. I'll do another one on top here. And then I can continue. I'll do a smaller cluster. And I'll just plop that there. And then this is going to keep going. So let's see. So this is obviously a transparent image on the screen. And so you're not actually wrapping it around this. You're actually sending it to the back of the canvas, and there's just clarity between here and here, right? So I'll make this one large. And then I'll go, I should have gone behind actually with this. So I'm going to send this to back. Okay, so now that set is behind there and this one's wrapping in front of it. And then I'll go back to purple. And now we need to add in some of the bigger ones because we're getting bigger towards the bottom. So actually do another cluster like this. I'm going to make it slightly bigger. Make this one a large. Actually, I'll make it extra large. And so see, now it gives this impression that it's wrapping, right? And so almost done. Make these a little bit bigger. Make this one extra large. And then I can still go over this with my smaller balloons, but for now I'll just call this a frame 6.5 feet. I'll save it. And all my changes are saved here. I will tag it. I consider this in the backdrops. Our style, this is in, I'll call this moderate. It's wooden. And we'll say that that is about 11 feet. And the rental for the backdrop is 75. Now it's all saved. Calculates the price for me. Pulls from my pricing matrix so I can see what the cost is per foot. And then I will just duplicate the set. Duplicate the variant in the set. And then I will go and I will add some smaller details. So maybe I'll do the details in an accent color. So I'll add it to the screen and I will make it the extra small balloon. And I'll just create a nice little set of small clusters. And so I have this. And I'm doing that because I do have the option to change the accent color by size. And so that gives me more flexibility for how I style this in the future. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to make this nice and small. Lost one. I don't want to cover the framing because I just did all this work to make that look like it has more depth, right? Okay. Now I'll save it. I'll tag it. So we'll call this premium. It's still only about 11 feet and the backdrop is still 75 to rent. And it's saving here. And so I'll go into the variants and I'll say simple. I'll rename this one deluxe with accent color. And then you can continue adding and add more feet however you want. I'll show you one more example of some depth in framing that I did with an easel. I'll see, here's another one I did with the wrap. Or like this. This one, how about this one? So this, you can clearly still see the chain from the hanging chandelier. And so that, if you just keep wrapping it, it's still, you want to show This is center back, so you want to be able to show that, and so that's really what's creating the depth in the set. You can see that those balloons are behind. So this one, see those balloons are in the back? Obviously this is covering it up. There's a lot of detail going on here, so you can't really see all of the depth, but that's how I would build it on site. So I did it that way. And I'll just show you one more example with the A-frame. So this one I played with pattern too. So I just kept wrapping right on that one. On this one, going around. And there you go. Hope that helps with creating depth.